My wife and I got in a pretty emotionally charged discussion yesterday about which one is I guess better to be empathetic about, humanity or human beings. And I understand that they're very similar, but they're also very different, right? Let me try and explain this in a way that I hope makes sense. Humanity, in my mind, is beyond time, right? Right now we live in this little blip of time when there's about 7 point something billion people, humans, living. That is not to say that humanity is 7.2, 7.3, whatever billion people. No, because humanity is not only what is right now, it's also the past, and it's also what is to come. Do way too many people suffer today? Yes, they do. So, okay, sorry, I'm getting off topic. I started to explain my argument before. So that's humanity, right? Humanity is humans throughout time. Human beings are humans in time, are humans in this moment. I am alive right now. I would imagine if you're watching this to some capacity, you're probably also alive right now. So you actually have the capacity to suffer. You have the capacity to love. Humanity does and doesn't, right? I mean, humanity suffers throughout time, but I mean, it's not the same thing as human suffering, if that makes sense. Humanity has a capacity to love to some degree, but again, not the same thing as a human's capacity to love individually. So I'm hoping that kind of makes it clear, the difference between humanity and humans. I interact with X amount of humans a day, and of course, I have real concerns and emotional feelings to many of the people that I interact with. I would hate to know that anyone that I know is suffering, but I also know that people suffer. I know that people I don't know suffer. And so this is why I choose humanity over humans. I only know, let's say 1,000 people. That's probably stretching me pretty thin. I don't have the capacity, personally, to care about 1,000 people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish that I did. I would love to care about 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, 1,000,000,000 people, etc. But I don't have that capacity in the individual level. I simply will never be able to know enough people. And even if I chance encounter you in the moment, I probably am going to forget your name. I'm going to forget anything about you. And so to say that I actually care about you would be a fucking lie. And I'm not a big fan of lying to such a capacity. So for me, I know that I cannot actually say that I care about humans. I care about certain humans, yes. But to say that I care about humans where humans are right now, that, I'm really concerned about like 7.2 billion people, it's false. Now, interestingly enough, caring about humanity only expands that farther, right? The difference is what my actions could be. So I can go and I could try and make a person's life better today, which I actively try and do, because it's not a dichotomous thing. It's not one or the other. Most people who choose humanity also care about humans. People who choose humans also care about humanity. There's more of a balance in which one are you going to spend your focus, your attention, and your resources on. So do I go out and bring displaced people into my home and help them get their lives back together and then change one or two people's lives? No, I mean, I wish I did, because it would be really fulfilling to do that for one or two people. But I personally believe that efforts are better in making big changes in the future. So instead of trying to help one or two displaced people get a home and get their lives back on track today, what if my energies and efforts were... Sorry, there's this terrible sounding car. You hear that? That's their life. They just drive around listening to that shit. You don't have to drive. I mean, this is so they could park at the... You could walk. I'm walking. I've been walking around. You have the right to fucking walk. You don't have to do this. So this is why I choose humanity, not humans. Humans absolutely piss me off with their stupid choices. Humanity does too, of course. Humanity is way worse than most individual humans, but they're also less to blame in so many ways. I can't say, you did this. That person chose to fucking drive that car. And I don't know, so you did that. So where are your efforts going? And I don't I don't think there's a right or wrong. Okay, I chose humanity, and clearly I think that's right for me. That's why I choose it. But I think people who choose humans over humanity, that's right too, because everyone needs to work together to some capacity to make some real difference here. So yeah, sorry about that car. I really wish that cars would just stop existing, but until they do, you could choose to stop driving one, asshole. All right, don't forget you're dying. Love you.